Hello, I'm Ragnarok, and welcome to the Reckoning. So today we are doing another patch notes update for the Age of Calamitous mod for Conan Exiles the game. This video is going to cover the December 7th 2.98 and December 14th 2.99 patch update for Conan Exiles Age of Calamitous mod. So the first thing in the 2.98 December 7th update is the revert strength attribute back to vanilla values. So in the last video that we did, which if you haven't seen it, check it out. It was the December 5th update video. There was a change to the strength value for the Age of Calamitous mod, changing it for basically having the value of how many points you get per attribute points in strength. That has been reverted back to the vanilla rates. The next change is the rebalance of the Great Tome. So the Great Tome right here, the ability that when you hit the control key does this ability. Used to have a base value of 5 with a 10 times multiplier when you do the control ability. That has been changed. Now it has a base damage of 50 and the multiplier is times 2. So just a small damage, and you can still modify these with weapon kits. So if you can increase the damage it's done to the base value, and that new value will still be multiplied by times 2. The other thing, we also have added new death music, so when you die, there's some new music. Check that out. Also, new battle music for AoC NPCs. We will check that out a little farther into once we cover some of the 2.99 stuff. I'll let you know when we get that far. The next things we have are the update to the Drawbridges. So this is the new Drawbridge over there, the White Oak. We showed that in the last patch, and this is the vanilla Drawbridge. Now, you see the vanilla one, how this folds. Now, this update was already in effect when I filmed the December 5th patch video. However, if you happen to use these drawbridges or make one before the December 7th update, these drawbridges actually had this kind of attached to the bottom. So you could actually still see this whole like contraption bend when it went up. That was basically hidden. So now it's just flat on the bottom. So that was a change made there. Then we have the updated golden line fountain from the Stormhold faction. This was a white, like silvery liquid, which I actually kind of liked. But it was changed to this blue one, which I actually feel fits a little better with the gold and makes it look a lot cooler. Okay, so here's one of the new battle musics for the NPCs. There's 9 variations. So this would be the Nakata one from the Warfront. Okay. Now we'll check out whoever I put over here. Ashira. Okay, so I probably let that one go on a little longer than I wanted to, but I just really like that one. So that is kind of tied for first place with the new music. Okay, and the last one we're going to show is the Narius, which is the boss to the Sanguis Assassin's Purge. And there we go. So there's 3 of them. That one, I'm still torn between the Irenea one and the Ashira one. Those are my 2 favorites. Like I said, I've listened to them all. They're mainly from the sounds that have been added are mainly to bosses of the Age of Calamitous. So if you just run through all the bosses, some of them, there's been 1 or 2 sounds that were added to the Vanguard Grunts have one. So there are some to like lesser creatures. Frost Hounds also have one. So, or Scourge Hounds. have one. So just check out all the AoC creatures. You'll hear a bunch of the music, but those are probably my 2 favorite. So for the 2.99 December 14th patch, we'll go down that one a little bit. So we have updated Servant of Rayth, which I'll go over to real quick, who also has some music. Okay, so now we have the updates to the Servant of the Rayth. This one is a couple different things. There is a new battle music for the Servant of the Rayth. Also, the Servant of the Rayth got 2 attacks. That's one of them. And then, let's see if I can get it to do the other one. It may not do it, though, because I'm in God mode. But that main attack, what that does is that does a affliction on you. It's called Death Touch. Basically, what it does is for 60 seconds, it will do 1 damage per second. So essentially what it does is it doesn't really do a lot of damage to you. It's not going to kill you or anything by any means. You know, 1 a second for 60 seconds, 60 points of life. However, that is going to stop you from healing, bandaging, drinking, eating food. So while you're fighting something like this, you are not going to be able to heal if you have that on you. That has a 70-second cooldown. So 70-second cooldown, 60-second effect. 1 damage per second. It also does another ability which obviously won't show you because I'm in God mode. But when it hits you, it will also do this frost, like a frostbite, which essentially just lowers your temperature. So if you fight this in a cold area and you're like right on the borderline, you may get extremely cold or frostbite, which essentially is the same as getting the death touch on you. These Servant of the Wraiths also got a little visual update. As you can see, the weapon they use is a little different. The armor is a little different. It's a little more solid. There's that ability again. The way the eyes look. So they visually look different. They also have like a little bit of a voice. That was perfect timing. From the grave you rise and stuff like that. So they do have some dialogue lines, which is pretty sweet. Slowly all the NPC creatures are getting seem to be getting a lot of dialogue added to them, which I think is going to make the game come alive a little bit more. Okay, so the next update is updated Blade of Aquanias, or yeah, we'll say it like that. Essentially, what that had, that's the sword right here, which is, I've always liked this sword. It's one of the ones you get from the merchants. The update to that has been, it now does the Bane of the Cursed, which is that Felgarth attack back from an update back in October, I believe it was, which is a kind of like a bleed or poison to undead creatures. It now does that, so you can get that full 10 stacks on it now, which does a considerable amount of damage. This sword is basically going to be super OP for anything undead. Also, the sword itself has been giving when you equip it, it gives plus 10 strength attributes bonus, and it also does gives you 2 points in cold resistance. Next thing we'll go over is the remove vitality modification. So in the December 5th patch, there was a change to the vitality, the way my vitality points were acquired. Essentially, it was changed from per point you put into a vitality, you get plus 8 HP, and that was turned into plus 16 HP per point in vitality. That change has been reverted and being reworked, so just wait to see what becomes of that one. I think it was just a little too overbuffed, so it just has to be relooked at, the reason that vitality was added in the first place. The next couple is just fix some exploits, audio issues. You could knock out your captured thralls, which is probably a bad day. There was a nice little glitch with getting armor from thralls that you placed in the wheel. Tier 1 fences weren't working, so that was fixed. A couple other bugs. We already heard the audio change for the Servant of the Rayth, and the music, you could hear that when I was fighting him. So the last 2 things to go over is the new monolith that has been added to the game, and the new magic spell that's been added to the game. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so as far as where the monolith is, I know a lot of people are looking for it, and I know a bunch have found it. So here is the entrance in the jungle to where the Witch Queen is. I'll show you on the map, right over here. Right where the Forgotten City is, and the, I forget what the actual spot is actually called here. But there's your entrance, and if you go straight up, now obviously you're not going to be able to fly like this, but, and you go in the topmost, there's like 4 different little rooms. And we have this right here. So if we interact again, it says requires the knowledge of a Felgarth Elder. So essentially what that means is, in order to read this tablet and get its knowledge, you have to be part of Felgarth, and you have to be an Elder. Well, what's an Elder? It's right here, the red one. Same as the Bane of the Cursed Monolith. So it's the level 60. So we'll just learn those abilities real quick. And now we're going to click on it. And there you go. You've learned new feat, the Old Teachings. There's some really cool information here. As far as some lore, you can read it. It also tells you that you learn the spell called the Cleanse, which removes curses and cures most types of poison. And it's a spell that is made at the enchanting table. Okay, so as far as making the new spell that we learned at the Old Teachings Monolith, it's right here, spell, Cleanse. And it takes 1 Arcane Essence, 1 Ecto, 3 Moondust, and 5 Calamitous plants. So we'll craft one. And there you go. You get one of them. So, how does it work? Essentially, you put it in your inventory, and you use it. Now, the cool thing about this is it has no... I don't know why I have 1,000 on me. Mainly because I spawned them in real quick, so... But you only have to make one. There is no durability on it, so it doesn't wear out as far as I know. That may change. You never know. But currently, you just make one of them. You put it on. The really sweet thing about it is that if you get poisoned, it will actually cleanse your poison. So you can think of this as like super buff bandages. Except for, well, it doesn't do bleed, but it will do poison, any kind of curse. And the awesome thing about it is that death touch that we talked about, it will actually cleanse that also. So we do have a way of combating when you're fighting the AoC bosses or the AoC undeads, and you get the death touch on you. You can use this, and that will cleanse that, and then you'll be able to heal yourself again. So pretty cool defense. They added in something that made it a lot harder to fight the undead, but then they added in something to combat that, the cleanse spell. Okay, so that was one of the quicker updates, but like I said, we covered the 2.99, 2.98, December 7th and December 14th patches. If you guys have any questions or comments or anything like that, leave in the comment section below. I do read the comments. Also, if you enjoy the video, hit that like button. Also, hit that sub button so you can find out when the next videos are coming out. I'm sure we got a lot more patches coming out in the future, so I'm going to try to get those patch note videos out to you as soon as possible. We also have episode 2 coming out really soon of the Season 2 playthrough. I'm currently editing that at the same time I'm editing this, so that one should not be that long from now. And we have some really, really cool videos planned for the future, so stay tuned for that. Hit the sub button. Also want to give a little shout out to our elite Patreons for the month. I really do appreciate it. If you're interested in being one of the Patreons, we have a link in the description below. Also, we stream on Twitch. We have an amazing Discord channel if you want to support the channel that way. And link for both of those are in the description below. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next video. And as always, fear the reckoning.